Good morning. The valedictorian of the class of 2009 is Jonathan Patrick McCarthy. Jonathan. First in his class of 338 with a weighted average of 100.57. Jonathan was a member of the National Honor Society and the Science Olympiad. He was the captain of the volleyball and tennis teams. He was selected as Student of the Month for the Exchange Club of Tonawanda. He has been a counselor at NDA camp for a week each summer and volunteered at Cornerstone Cafe and Camp Good Days. Jonathan will attend the University of Rochester, majoring in chemical engineering. He has received the Bausch & Lomb Honorary Science Award, a Dean's Scholarship, and a Rochester National Grant. To present his valedictory address entitled My Last High School Failure, it gives me pleasure to introduce Jonathan Patrick McCarthy.
Mr. Fisher, honored guests, parents, friends, families, and members of the class of 2009. Someone once told me that a good speech is like a woman's skirt, long enough to be respectable, but short enough to keep you interested. And I agree. I didn't really have time to write a speech, as I was too busy with college stuff. So I had my mom write me one, so here it is. I would, as I'm sure every member of the class of 2009 would, like to thank my family and close friends for all of the support they have shown me over the past 18 years, especially all of the mothers, who are the most intelligent, best dressed, and most... I'm sorry, Mom, I can't read what that last word says. I'm just kidding. I did manage to find some time in my busy schedule. So then I started thinking about what it was that I wanted to talk about today. I knew I couldn't make it too funny, nor could I be too serious. That's just not me. However, I also didn't want to give you any advice, because, face it, half of you are probably sleeping by now, and I'm probably not talking loud enough for those of you that are awake to hear me anyways. Not to mention that I'm probably not qualified to give out advice. A life lesson was something I also wanted to avoid, because almost none of you are going to remember most of the things that I say anyway. Plus, you know, the old not being qualified stipulation. After weeks of fruitless attempts, it seemed like there was really only one thing this speech could be about: failure. The first thing I did was grab a dictionary and look up failure. That was a lie. Nobody uses dictionaries. I Googled it. And like any good Google search, led me straight to the Wikipedia article on failure. According to the experts at Wikipedia, or more likely some middle-aged guy sitting around in his underwear in his parents' basement updating Wikipedia. Failure basically refers to the state of not meeting a desirable or intended outcome, or the opposite of success. So, in summary, this definition assumes that failure equals bad. But I think this definition of failure oversimplifies things too much. How can something that we have all done so often be such an entirely bad thing? In fact, a recently published, highly scientific study has found that 50% of Americans graduated in the bottom half of their high school class. I bet you are all as surprised as I was when I first read that. So since all of us cannot succeed at everything all the time, what do we make of these constant setbacks, losses, defeats, disappointments, Super Bowl 25 through 28, whatever you want to call them? Every one of us fails in different ways all the time. Whether it's getting a bad grade on a math test you needed to do well on, or getting cut from a varsity team you really wanted to play for, or locking your keys inside of your car, or making a mistake at work, or not getting picked for an award or promotion you thought you deserved and had really hoped to receive. These can all be viewed as failures in different ways and to varying degrees. I think that if there's anything I want you to remember from this speech, not the opposite of success. In fact, I would even say that failure is a necessary part of success. However, more important than the failures themselves is how we respond to them. For instance, do we accept the failures and get down on ourselves? Do we give up, quit, maybe cry a little bit? Or do we look at them as opportunities to learn, as challenges that will ultimately make us better and more prepared to succeed? And as a chance to claim that you made it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. Without knowing failures, our successes will not and cannot be as gratifying or as meaningful. We also cannot define these successes without a clear understanding of the failures we experienced in our efforts to get there. Every new step we take, there will be bumps. We will fail, and we will succeed. We will look bad, and we will look good. We will be criticized, and we will be praised. Just remember that every failure and mistake is your own unique way of getting to where you need and want to be. So don't be afraid of falling down, making messes, and breaking things. In honor of originality and the fact that some things are simply better put by other people, I wish to leave you with one additional thought about failure. In the words of the famous philosopher Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Class of 2009, keep on taking those punches in the face, getting back out and learning from them. And if all else fails, you can always bite someone's ear off.
Well done, Jonathan. I hope you found that part in our advice speech about being a little bit cautious of who you take your cues from as far as philosophy. Mike Tyson might not cut. At this time, I'd like to